have the room acknowledge this. He's filming me because we're doing a nationwide thing. Can I have a group autonomous thing? Where is it going to be okay with you guys?
As long as he does you.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, as long as he's doing
so
you,
I just need to okay that because this guy here is helping me with my story to go nationwide with it, and we're doing some wonderful work. And so anyway, yeah, we're talking about emotional sobriety, and so. And I will leave it on basically not just today, because emotional sobriety is a broad thing to talk about. It's very broad. And I'm going to read a little something, and then I'm going to elaborate on and share my experience, strength, and hope in this here. You know, I know when I first came in this program, it has changed quite a bit. You know, the support system is just not there no more. I mean, and I said this last week, it didn't matter who was up here chairing the meeting. People would come support this group here, man. And so now it's been turned into more of a celebrity type of thing. A certain person, certain individuals feel that can transmit something, some recovery. The rooms get fuller. When I believe there's no big I's and little U's up in here. I just believe that we're all equal. We're on a level playing field. And so I'm going to read something here, and then I'm going to elaborate because you know, this disease is cunning, baffling, and powerful. And I'm on Roman numeral 29, and it's in the doctor's opinion. And I'm in the middle of the page where it says that men have cried out to me in sincere, despairing appeal. Doctor, I cannot go on like this. I have everything to live for. I must stop, but I cannot. You must help me. Faced with this problem, if a doctor is honest with himself, he must sometimes feel his own inadequacy. Although he gives all that is in him, it is often not enough. One feels that something more than human powers need to produce this essential psychic change. Though the aggregate of recoveries resulting from psychiatric effort is considerable, we physicians must admit we have made little impression upon the problem as a whole. Many types do not respond to this ordinary psychological approach. And what's that saying there in the doctor's opinion? If you read that, it's a lot of information, a lot of schooling with these doctors and stuff, and they're just basically letting you know that self-intellect is not going to keep you clean and sober. It just won't, man. I tried that. If some of you guys know me, I used to be a big book thumper, man. I would come in here, I could quote this book because I stayed in the mirror with it all the time. I would always have a preconceived message when I got to a meeting, and I didn't live none of that stuff, man. It wasn't until I got butt naked honest with myself that I had a hole in my soul. I had a real hole in my soul, and I had to get to the core of what made me keep going out. What made you act on impulse every time you went out and threw your clean and sober time away on an impulse situation after working so hard, doing all that writing, spending all that time in the meetings, taking your sponsees to movies and stuff. I mean, I talked about it. A lot of work was involved, but that's not what's going to do it. It takes that personal relationship. This is my experience with a Savior, a God of my understanding. It took that personal relationship where that he had to be a guide when I got up in the morning and when I went to sleep at night. You know what I'm saying? And I say that to say, and there's people in this room know that before I leave my room, I'm on my knees. There's somebody in here that knows, that's been real intimate with me and seen this the last 2 weeks. I'm on my knees. I'm reading the scripture. I'm reading a daily reflection. And it's actually a beautiful thing for me because, you know, I can treat another human being as well as I treat myself, you know, because I love me today. I couldn't even say that. I always thought I loved me, but I didn't because I wouldn't have kept treating myself like I did. You know, I just wouldn't have done that. You know, I threw away, and we're talking about emotions here. I threw away one of the most wonderful wives that a person could ever have, man. You know, because of my emotional dysfunction that I had going on. Threw away, and we're talking about emotions here. I threw away one of the most wonderful wives that a person could ever have, man. because of my emotional dysfunction that I had going on. I was just so depleted and bankrupt with coming up from a very dysfunctional family, man. Watching my mother have a stroke in front of me and die, bite her tongue off in front of me. To see that. She went to iron my sister's dress and fell right in front of my feet, man. And so that nourishing just wasn't there. That nutrition, that foundation wasn't there. So I had to go through that emotional unbalancedness throughout my life, because if I wasn't the athlete that I was to see somewhat of healthiness, then I could have never had this seat here. So AA has really, really been a foundation in my life to let me know that I have a disease of drugs and alcohol that it will never go away, but it's ceased now. It's asleep right now and can be woken at any time. It can be refunded at any time. Let me stop doing what I'm doing. Thank God. I love you, man. I've had some good sponsors in my life. But the passion that we do, the work we do on Friday, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but when I say I love you, man, we're going to do this like you said. And that's the people that God delegates in your life. See, God only lets people go through what they go through because he knows they can go through it. That's been my experience. I love, I've been knowing him since I was 3 years old. He introduced me to some very prominent people, man, with that emotional unbalancedness I had in my life, man, that I can honestly say, man, through this journey and going through the cycle and going through the wash machine have restored me back to my sanity, that first step, man, that honesty, man, that today I don't have to do a shortcoming on my fourth step. I don't have to only tell so much, knowing that the stuff I didn't tell, I'm eventually get drunk on. I'm going to tell this man everything about me that's never been told to get this freedom that I'm looking for. And the emotional breakup that I went through, I must say that, man, because you know what I've been going through the last 6 months with this, and I couldn't see my way, man. I just couldn't see my way. The fog was in my way, but the God of my understanding kept saying, I will never leave you or forsake you if you be obedient to me. And I've done that, man. And and like I said, emotional sobriety is a geographical huge thing to talk about. I sat down and read about it last night. I said, man, well, I just want to really focus on the day and what I'm going through now, but it's so huge, you got to touch on other areas in your life, man. And so, I need to get in there and give some of the worldliness of how emotional sobriety to me works. God has delegated some just wonderful, wonderful people in my life. Always have, though. I mean, I've had some wonderful people in my life, but the dysfunction that I've had, I didn't know how to manage those people that were in my life, man. And God's in the resurrection restoring business, man. He just does that, to have my son back in my life when I had him at 15 years old, took a turn on my life, man, that now I understand that was one of the hugest mistakes I ever made in my life. That was a real emotional letdown for me, but the blessing of it is that on this last journey of our lives, or my life, that we're building this unbelievable relationship that I never ever thought I would see, and so my daughters, they're back in my life, man. It's beautiful, man. And so I really support. I'm so glad of you guys' support tonight, man. I just need to acknowledge you. I thank you for your murmurs in me when I was relapsing, and you would sit me in your car and tell me, I don't care how many times you relapse, I love you. You know what I mean? Those are words that you can't teach them. You can't write them. They resonate if you let them. They just do. Your husband, he's been inspirational in my life, man, in a short term. I just need to acknowledge some Thank you for going to the lake and listening to my spiels. You know, people that I never thought would even be in my presence. You know, uh, I mean, all you guys. I mean, come on, man. That's one of my peers here, man, and that's all in this emotional roller coaster I've been going. And I talked about that, man. Through my imbalanceness, on the last part of this journey, I was able to stay this time one day at a time. And I seen Delbert work this year. I seen blow a very high, powerful job, and I was worried about him. But God has restored him now, man, with that emotional balance in his life, man. So I just want to keep trudging, you know, one day at a time, and know that you're not going to win everybody's soul to be your friend. It's just not going to work. You know, I've always been a very likable person, and left up to my device, I want everybody to like me and love me, but it just is not going to happen. So anyway, man, you know, I'm more than grateful that you asked me to chair the meeting, man. And that's what we're doing. We're supposed to be the vessel and the light of the world. That's our jobs, is to not just help another suffering addict or alcoholic. Whoever's suffering, you got to help, you know. And so, you know, I really want to thank, you know, like, man, David, man, I don't tell you enough, man, but you got so much to offer, man, you know. And I belittle myself at times where, you know, because of my falls and my failures in the past, I put myself beneath people, and now today I'm balanced with it now. There's nobody beneath anyone, and we're all on a level playing field today. And I feel that in my spirit, not only in my spirit, in my mind, because this is out to kill me too, you know. And so I love you too, man. I want to get to know you better. I really do, man. I don't know, man. I just want to. And I'll close with this here. We're working with a lot of kids, and we're going to Mexico the 23rd to the 29th to speak with some kids down there. Then we're going to Calgary, Canada to speak with some more kids. And I'm looking forward to this journey, man, because, you know, it starts with them, man. You know, I do, you know, I need to push more at the people, the kids that are growing up at a younger age, because you know what? You guys just don't know how much of a miracle we are in these rooms. People are not going to survive the journeys that we took. They're just not going to do it. Man, the stuff that's in these drugs nowadays is killing people at an alarming rate. Alcohol, too. You know, so anyway, man, you know, like I've always said, they used to say it by the Empire Ways group, where they didn't let me share for 2.5 years. They didn't. Every time I went to share, they cut me off. You ain't got enough time. They said if you got more to talk about, you got to keep coming back. So thanks for letting me talk.